composition that we've seen from Giant X on Bind is something a little more unconventional, but something that I really enjoy watching. So yeah, it'll be intriguing to see how FUT are able to adapt to that.
Yeah, I do like the KC approach to this bind, you know, with the deadlock coming in as well. It looks like they just want to get into the game. They don't want to wait around. So do I too. But let's talk about some of the actual agent select we've seen here.
I do, again, sorry, just to talk about the deadlock again, I do really like Giant X still coming into this with the deadlock on attack, because we have seen so many attack side deadlocks almost used as an initiator, kind of jumping into that site with the ult, using her abilities to almost gather information. So I do really like that paired with the Gecko for that quite easy taunt too.
I have to agree. I think as well, to that point, Westside has just looked absolutely solid all day today, and I think that he's proven time and time again that he can master whatever agent he kind of has to jump into on this Giant X side. But looking ahead at FUT's composition, again, we are going to see cracks on that KO. We know that this is where he is strong, and it's the double smokes for me, right? You know, we got to see CNED come out on that Omen. There was a couple of things here and there with his utility where he wasn't always hitting the paranoias last time we saw him on Bind. So yeah, for me, I'm looking to see how his CNED improves that utility usage, and is he going to continue to help playing for his team? Because a lot of the times what he was doing was he was kind of playing as though he was an individual.
I do think CNED here playing that Omen quite aggressively always is going to favour that Turkish kind of aim that he naturally is born and bred with. However, I do look to Grabino here in the performance that he has been having and playing an agent like Astra who brings so much more utility to the team as a whole. And I think from what we've sort of seen in stage 2 so far, teams are sort of thriving when they're picking into these comps that benefit the team as a whole, not just an individual player like CNED on that aggressive Omen. So it will be interesting to see the battle of the controllers come through on Bind.
It will be very interesting. So let's jump into game and throw this over one last time today to Hazza and Cairo.
Thank you very much, Desk. Yes, this will be the last map in this best of 3 between FUT and Giant X. The last time FUT were able to come back from a massive deficit. The same for Giant X, actually, when you consider the third map that they played in last week against BBL. And the stakes are pretty high between these two. For Giant X, there's a chance that they could potentially move in towards playoffs depending on other results.
Thinking about this map, Bind, you have to remember both teams have already played it once. For FUT, it was a loss, a pretty convincing one. And for Giant X, a narrow win in the end. They struggled to close out that attack side versus Vitality. But on this occasion, they're going to be starting there.
Oh, a below average success rate on Bind for Giant X and post plants.
Which does feel a little bit surprising when you consider that's the kind of position they want to find themselves in. Fortify the site through Westside's utility. The amount of combos that this team has at their disposal means that they can really burst effectively into the site. But if that first wave doesn't work out, could be in trouble.
Drops and Giant X scaled up somewhat decently through shot, but that paranoia from CNED is absolutely spot on. And so is the pistols. Oh, engaged better. Flickless managing to even it out, and Robinho unfortunately caught through the 0-point knife from the KO, and Zeus will be able to capitalise off the back of it.
Wingman, is it? No, the plant has been denied. It's a molly lineup flying in from Yetajay as well.
Flickless though, he's the one that got 2 on the entry of the round, and it looks like he's going to have to be the one to try and protect this spike as Cloud tries to get it down. Quick pivot though through towards the B site and the teleporter.
To be able to get this plant in, there is no wingman, so Cloud has to commit, and a little bit more time bought through the hesitation. FUT are here.
30 seconds
Flash as well to set up Flickless!
Oh!
As he finds an ace on this first pistol round.
It wasn't the best last map from Flickless, but he instantly responds. There is no bigger confidence builder than finding all 5 on the pistol. I alluded to it. In that first util dump, if GX aren't able to take the necessary space, they do struggle and can get phased out of rounds, but one man's heroics has set them up quite nicely on this attack side.
A slow start though for Giant X as they're careful of shot after last round. A little dizzy for contact, and FUT are looking to go and collect orbs here, ultimate orbs.
It's also a very tempered approach from GX by the same margin. You can see the value that Cloud gets from his Gecko utility is when you're able to recover it. So when you invest it, you challenge space, you have to take that ground, like I was saying. Here it's the B long control, and this orb should be available to them. Doesn't look like FUT are in a position to be challenging unless... Oh, Krax doesn't have a flash to throw in.
Now, but they've not cleared close once again. This is a problem we've seen happen a few times for Giant X, but Cloud and Westside bail them out of a difficult spot. Giant X look to send this one home.
Comfortable from this position. Zeus with the Bulldog, but can't land the shots. GX getting the first couple on the board. But we saw how Haven went. It started really well for GX. They're able to build up a lead for themselves. Have to be a little bit more careful clearing some of these corners, though, as Yetishay is knives out swinging.
Well, just to let everybody know, that was Flickless's first ace in VCT in that first round. Congratulations to him. Let's see if he can celebrate with a bonus round as the players of Giant X will approach that B long.
An important area of the map. Nice combo from the util, and oh, okay, Mr. Fallen has managed to escape, and Zeus is the one who finds the paint shells kill.
Of course. Same time though, the reaction is to start to scale up through a shot. The Toxin's looking to regen, and is there a chance that Giant X use the teleporter B long to get to the A site?
Toxin screen down.
Looks like the round is shaping up in that way. Flickless drops the wall to just get a look into the cubby. Lamps was such a key position for GX before, one which FUT didn't look willing to fight the last time we saw them playing Bind, and it gives a lot of comfort to that post plant as well. Westside now has the grab net back up and ready to use as the execution comes in.
Mr. Fallen solo, looking to retreat, and while the players of FUT want to go and try and investigate towards Lamps, and it ends up in Giant X's favour. Flickless once again being the hero, and Spike looking to go down.
Oh, the barrier mesh, the deadlock wall has not spread fully, so the spawn players can get out here and retake 3-on-3.
Zeus on the flank is probably the biggest concern for the attack, but the players out of CT met by Ara's rifle. Zeus at the same time, it's both Razes doing the work, but instead, yes, once again, it is Flickless. Commits the Viper's Pit because they know they want the bonus round. And in a 2 versus 1, Sinan trying to make his way through here, it should be an impossibility, but both players are up close and personal. But it's Flickless once again with a massive multi-kill.
Signed from Spain, it's Ara and Flickless to save the day in the 2v1. Hard done by Mr. Fallen perhaps there. I don't know if when the nade, sort of the cluster bomb effect, if one of those, you know, paint shells, I guess, went into the TP and it stopped it from doing max damage, but yeah, slight missed wall there, but the lamp space, as I mentioned, it's so key for FUT to be holding on to. The poison orb that they have on default does allow them to cross safely from showers. But you're now looking at Sheriffs again.
Oh, big horn, but didn't catch Westside as it went on the other side of the defensive Viper wall. Entry found.
But the sonic sensor was well placed. Zeus wanted to try and break it. That's one thing about Deadlock. Her utility is really there to enable a player playing around it. It doesn't always have to be her because it is global utility. So as long as GX hang around here, they can contain any further aggression from the defense.
One suppressed.
The Astra signal, but is that an indication?
Krax always looking mid-round for info with that knife, only spotted one, so FUT are going to search towards short to try and punish it, but it's a 1-for-1.
All it looks to be is Grabinho is the one that gets in. Krax, look at the damage that he's been taking. That Spike should easily have gone down, and prioritization to get a orb on towards Ara. He's one step closer. Grubby is in control of the flank.
Slight off angle. Yetishay walking in. It's a layup, an easy one for Grubby in the end. Now dropping back into that deeper setup. GX in a good position. They have no utility to defend the spike other than the gravity well, as the next Astral Star has been placed. And it's wraps in the end for FUT here.
Yeah, it's a done deal. CNED just wants to either make it as costly as possible, but he's not even going to get the chance to. So on towards the spike he goes. He's forced some players back into this. It's actually going to be Ara.
But he's happy to take the ult orb,
Yeah.
absolutely no problem. Stepping even closer to a showstopper, just a couple away. Westside with the Annihilation as well, so there are ults up and available here. And when you look at the way that Westside plays, he's kind of like the second in, really, on the deadlock. Because he's not worried about watching the flank. Anyone can do that.
Yeah, 100%. And I think as well, on top of it, like the way that the team is almost like switching how the roles work round to round in terms of like who's watching the flank, who's initiating alongside Ara. It is very nice to see everybody cut and change.
Into this next gun round, that ult from Westside's also going to pose a huge question for Krax, who's managed to get out of Hookah, and with plenty of information as well. Combo of the Seize nade, won't take down Ara. But GX have good ground early on, and they haven't had to expend all too much utility for it.
Look at how many players were drawn, gravitated towards this B side. That's at least 4. CNED slowly drifts back to 8. GX look to re-hit this site. 2 players in Hookah and 1 player back site for FUT.
But liking that slightly heavier Hookah setup, but not really getting proactive all too often. They will here, and Yetege finds Flickless. That's the other end. It's all coming in from long.
Yeah, that was Flickless's first death. As FUT look to get the first round. That's a brilliant showstopper. And Grabinho needs to somehow rescue that spike with no chance in hell.
Okay.
He'll buy himself one.
But this is Grabinho we're talking about, and he has looked absolutely stellar throughout today. It's a 1v1 on either end of the map. He's still healthy, he has stars, but no spike, and even less time.
1 versus 1 against CNED.
10 seconds
controller.
left.
He's not looking the right way, and steps being held by the veteran. He'll collect that kill, and FUT will get that first round.
Not going to be able to take that one away right under his nose. CNED does a good job to finish the round, and yeah, I like this tiny bit of proactivity layered in by FUT
One
as we're
enemy
starting to
remaining.
reach crunch time. We've not really seen them do a lot of that when they played this before against mates. They were very reserved, typically leaning towards a slightly heavier setup on A, and we're going to see that again here as once more the 2 initiators have flexed their positioning, swapping over. It's the flash actually to tee up the showers piece early for Zeus.
That's going to give them information later into the round in terms of what's happening here. Contact taken by Fallen.
With GX also having 2 players towards short, I'm wondering, did they hear that flash? Is there any kind of reaction to be made? Answer is no for now.
That knife doing God's work in terms of denying space and bringing sort of any luck pressure off.
So a lot of respect being shown by both teams. Finally, we're going to see this short fight. This Cloud is grouping up behind the wall.
That's a nice grab there, but it actually hasn't caught Zeus. And he was allowed a chance at a second bite of the cherry. Not going to come through, but it's the players still lurking on the B side that FUT need to be careful of.
The wingman sent in did not have a spike in its hands, so just a bit of a ruse. Buys a bit more attention on the FUT side of things. It's the showstopper to gut out the B side, but still CNED's elbow.
Yeah, that's the worrisome part. Oh, he's going to get a chance to get into sight, especially with this Nightfall. All the sound taken offline, and let's look at where this ultimate's going. Nowhere near the Omen, but Flickless is going to deal with it. Trying to bust out of backside Cloud. He's going to get his kill, and Fallen just with a little pocket in which to work. Still hoping that Krax will come through with them, but it's Krax instead out of nowhere that gets a double.
Flickless is so far ahead of this.
He is. But it's Krax, no, he doesn't, not at all. And GX will get that round. Even though it's being so topsy-turvy.
And it's Flickless again. He finds the impactful kill onto CNED, the one player in a position to cause some problems, and then walks all the way around to find the final kill. Krax did a brilliant job to try and get out in sight, and this was also great work from Cloud to reinforce.
I find it very funny that the one round...
Nice flick!
The one round that Flickless died, he was the entry kill, and that was the round that
That's
Foot
it?
got there.
Yeah, that's it.
One.
I was saying in the green room between games, it feels like when Zeus pops off, FUT end up losing. When Zeus doesn't play too well, FUT end up winning. Is it the same here with Flickless and his deaths, maybe? I don't know, because we did see that on the last map. I mean, this time, Zeus towards the top end of the scoreboard. The scoreboard is 5-1 to GX.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think you can necessarily just...
Oh no, it's a full conspiracy, but there's got to be something in the water.
Yeah, God knows. Man.
I'll come back to you with a proper theory once I've actually...
All right, okay. Well, you're going to be like, what's his face from Only Sunny with a big whiteboard and like...
Yeah.
I mean, I could see you with like the crazy hair.
Yeah, it's always sunny in Berlin.
Always
always,
sunny
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
Berlin.
yeah. You should have seen the what is it, the pre-show
Copyright
that we
that.
had?
Copyright that.
It is. Jokes aside, there is a chance we might have a round on our hands here. FUT are the ones with the ults, and they hold the card. I mean, it looks like a bomb down short real quick.
Yeah, and with ultimates to back it up if they really want to go for it. For that after that dizzy, I mean that's the big thing for Giant X is whenever Gecko is shown, that's going to be the main part of the pack.
That swimming pool is just concrete at the bottom. Zeus did not want to go diving headfirst in. I think of all the ults you could have asked for in an eco like this, you wanted the showstopper really. Krax has already used the knife for info. The pick goes up B long. Yetajay sort of expecting GX to be operating in this area of the map and maybe forcing them into the stack here as Zeus has found another opening pick.
Still Giant X are respecting everything being thrown at them by FUT.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of rounds where they've been caught out by Thrifties.
They're liking this heavy short setup, and it's seen it with the Phantom as well. You put a rifle in this guy's hands, it becomes an issue. And he's just about found a way to disengage, but it comes at the cost of HP.
Remember, Flickless is still alive, so that's the worrisome part, and Grabinho actually got the smokes through as well. So a little bit of space to work with, but GX aren't happy with that. They're going to try and play to get numbers back on their side.
It might just be time to test that hypothesis. Yetajay's dropped the pit, he's on the way through, but so is Flickless. His opposite number has Krax dead to right. It's taken out, and now a 2-on-4. Grabinho and just Flickless remaining. Is there any chance in hell he can pull this off? It doesn't look all the likely, especially with Yetajay so far out of the picture. He adds himself to it to close it out. A pay safe card Thrifty for FUT. And it seems like wherever Flickless falls, FUT are right there after.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I just stopped for a moment when Flickless was going to bust through backside. There was going to be a chance he could get the spike back, but no, the time was far too gone. Far too long gone. That short fight maybe forced a little bit too much by Giant X, rather than exploring elsewhere on the map. And hey, the Viper ultimate, which I thought was too hastily invested, ended up working out. CNED has his op for the first time in this match.
It comes at the exact same round when GX are using their long opening set piece. Morley comes in, and there is a Nebula waiting there as well to just allow them to get into Garden. They've used the recall now, but Yetajay crossing short. Flickless hasn't seen him.
That's a big timing.
Grabinho's walking into trouble here. Melee out. Okay, Yetajay.
Ah, nice.
I see the game you're trying to play here. How many more can he get? Oh, it's a second. And it's just about good enough, I would say. Great work from Yetajay. But with the Viper gone, GX should know that B is a little bit weaker now.
You should know.
The wall can't go up. There's no snake bite. But there are two players towards Huket.
I mean, Flickless working on the other side of the map, it means that a 2 versus 2 on this B site is so much more contentious.
You kind of need him to go through the TP and cause a bit of a distraction while the site players are contacting their way out. It's Ara at the front. The Rays head-to-head moments
30
away
seconds
from
left.
coming to fruition. Zeus in a strong position. It's Cloud that's going to spot him out. The second is hit. CNED's op spotted by the Dizzy, and all the while, Flickless starting to close the net towards spawn.
It's getting closer and closer. No command being used. You know that means if we want to go fast, which means Flickless needs to go fast as well. A great shot by CNED, but he's essentially in a 1 versus 2, and both players are giving him absolutely nothing. He does have 2 smokes and control of the spike. He should just get on this at this moment in time, but instead he wants to take the next engagement. He wants to find Flickless and does so. Now onto the spike with a rifle in hand, and Ara gives him the engagement, and FUT bring it within 2.
CNED producing complete gold dust in back-to-back weeks. Another Red Bull clutch goes his way. When we think of CNED and Bind, the history goes all the way back. You're expecting to be looking out for his off, attack, defense, it doesn't matter. Did it all the time on Ascend. As long as that prismatic blue gun is in his hands, you know what you're getting, and with the plant on site, oh, it's the missed first shot from Ara and an absolute blunder from GX.
Yeah, that's going to feel like it stings. Another quick opening once again by Giant X. They look to take this time towards Showers. CNED's off there, and well, the entry being found.
And this is what I was saying. That's how they won Champs 2021. It's the reason why everyone banned it against them.
Players close, hot on the heels as Giant X try to execute in towards A, but the players aren't checking. Cloud's waiting on the other side of this wall, and Zeus gets him. Showstopper out, and Giant X try to fight forward. They're trying to buy themselves space to get away from the flank, but there's no chance to get the spike back. It's all in FUT's favour, as they are dicing away the lead that Giant X built in the early rounds.
As much as you want to talk about CNED changing roles as well, he was playing Sage on here before, so Omen, it's just about controlling the space as much as possible. Billy on the desk talking that we needed to see the utility be a bit better, but if he can just hold the line and pull the trigger every time, then it's job done. It's putting GX at such disadvantages, and it's another round as well where Ara doesn't get the most of his timing.
Yeah.
Pushing the site, currently 3 and 7.
The one thing that I want to note here, and if we're going to talk about players' KDA, is the fact that Flickless right now is 17 and 4, which is a massive gap. He's 11 away from his closest teammate, which is Grabinho.
Yeah, he almost has 3 times as many kills. If he has 1 more, Grabinho's on 6, same for Cloud, and the rest trail behind. GX, looking at this veto, I thought they'd played an absolute masterstroke.
Yeah.
You came into the first map, which they looked confident on. The second, they had yet to show it, but I think we realize why now. And for Bind, well, we saw them beat Vitality here in the first week. Still a winded one, I think.
And I think this is the most disappointing part for me, Hazza, is that Giant X, just when they're on the cusp of making playoffs, the wheels start to wobble a little bit.
It's the Giant X that we remember, perhaps. Those micro details. Something to focus on. The pit as well in this round. A half buy for all intents and purposes, but if GX can put themselves in a position with that ultimate, finding value, Yetterjay's in a difficult spot here, but Mr. Fallen has held up his end of the bargain.
Yeah, and the players immediately TP to add support to this one as well. I mean, it's whether they could even get onto the site Giant X, but they put 2 players, one with the spike towards Hookah. Mr. Fallen has knocked them both down. How do you even try and get this back if you're Giant X?
First, they must challenge the Omen smoke.
Bring them down.
Replenished. A Prowler. I don't know how that has threaded the needle between 2 players there, but Grabinho and Westside still hanging about, looking to clear the close corner with the util. Probably gets one, but Yetterjay, equivalent exchange and cracks right by side. Westside in the middle of all of this. Has a lot of work to do. 1v4, 1 kill deep, knows that Zeus is in the TP, so as soon as he commits sight, the backline is something to think about. It's a heads-up duel on Yetijay in the pocket. Still yet to drop out, hasn't given away any sound, but just got to be clear in those corners. Tied game, 5 rounds each.
Yeah, it does end up back all even between these two. And it's little mistakes like this is what's costing Giant X, right? Sending 2 players towards Hookah. Sure, there's a set play there, but
that's like 3 rounds in a row now.
Yeah.
We've seen a duel not go Ara's way when it felt like it was maybe 80% in his favor. So,
and it's on top of that, it's another round where Cloud gets caught out with a spike in his back pocket when he's trying to get onto site.
These are going to be really frustrating losses for GX, but they know that the win is not too far off. They've got ults to come straight back into the next. In fact, they've got almost everything. Same util set to take B long. They're held at arm's length by Yetijay's Snakebite this time, the Viper Molly. You're just waiting for Westside to invest his ult somewhere. As soon as he gets info on a player position from the FUT side, it's the fishing line out, trying to reel him in.
Yeah, but let's look at the player positions right now. Take note of that from Giant X. I mean, realistically, it's not going to be B. That's where it looks, is they're beginning to explore elsewhere on the map.
Yeah.
That spike very close to hitting the TP.
For FUT at the same time, you can see 2 players Hookah, one of them Mr. Fallen. Doesn't have a Prowler to invest, but does have the ulti. Can very quickly run into a position where he should support short hit.
Yeah, Zeus is the first one in, and well, that ultimate you were talking about earlier, finally invested, actually gets one of the players as Grubby makes to try and get rid of Zeus and can't, and well, unfortunately, Krax is left to die. Ara now really showing a little bit of slack in the past couple. It needs to be a 1 versus 3, but it shows, and that first shot is deadly. You look at Zeus, very low, but can he get through? Can he get by Yetijay? He can! 1 to find, and well, as the clock ticks away, he panics and doesn't identify the threat, and Yetijay wins the round.
It's such a valiant attempt from Ara, and the nade was spot on as well. Just feels like it isn't his day. He had the util to flush Yetu out the pocket, but when he didn't see that instant peek, just assumed it was clear. This one from Westside is a bit lax, I think. And then the rest just get cleaned up. As I said once again, great attempt from Ara, and I think that will put fuel in the tank for him. GX really need to close up this gap though, and they have the tools to do it.
They do, in the form of ultimates, but there is one thing that needs to be noted. It would be the Nightfall retakes that FUT can use, and Cine top unfortunately gets denied the angle through Viper utility, and they're just going to bust through straight away with that showstopper.
No Command has taken it offline though, so Ara, just with the gun in his hands on sight, seems to be enough right now. Flashed off the angle from Krax. Westside arriving late as the rest of the players are falling on sight. GX whittled down to their final 2. They will head for B as a plan B. The execution just hasn't worked out.
It's the utility right now when you look at how much time GX have to set up on the site. And the fact that FUT are going to be so late to get back to this one. So, plenty of delay, plenty of opportunity. What does FUT do to try and break this down? It looks like they're going to split up into 2 packs.
And for all of the lost post plants that GX had coming in, this is almost ideal conditions. The only thing missing is player numbers. Westside has emptied his pockets, full setup, knows that with the wall broken, there's at least 1 player coming spawn side. They've got to drop into the sensor here, and that's where both players can look to capitalize. Westside gets both of them, still needs 2 more, but can't take it, can't handle the heat. FUT in front at the first half of Bind, back to winning ways.
It's another brilliant start and a half by Giant X, and one which ends up with FUT being ahead. I can't believe we're looking at this once again, but we'll need to see who wins out the map after a quick break.
so stressful, like... What the...
Red Bull gives you wings.
FUT look like themselves again, and with the opportunity to go ahead with a positive win rate in the group stage. Having found a win in week 1, getting let off the hook and punished in the previous, now GX taking their foot off the gas. Both teams could be sat at a 2-1 scoreline before you know it. Things have to change.
They do, and for FUT, once again, they're at a chance to keep their momentum going. They need to win the pistol round, and that's always been a failing of this roster in the past couple series. They have not looked good, but they seem to have turned a corner on that Haven.
Where FUT have been finding success so far is bleeding that utility out of GX. On the attack, it was beating the utility trap and not getting sucked in to their initial outbursts. Here, it's going to be disallowing those anchors from finding maximum value. As GX love to play the double setup A, it's proactivity shown B long, quick trade, and FUT looking to make their reaction early.
Yeah, both raises gone off the board, but FUT are walking in towards the deadlocked trap.
This is the pairing. It's Flickless and Westside, but both of them are dead at the hands of Cracks.
Grubby's went for a TP, he's here quick.
He's opened things up immediately, but they know about Grubby. The shower space is almost surplus to requirements because FUT playing doubled up either side of short. 2 players in lamps ready to take the contact on Cloud.
And Cloud has no flash to get Grubby into sight.
Does have the wingman to clear these close corners. Finally the wee guy comes out, but met with a paranoia and the sinking feeling that this one might be slipping away from GX. Grubby wants to take it from right beneath them, but the floor has fallen out of GX instead. FUT with another pistol in the second half to extend their advantage.
This is looking very good for FUT right now. The immediate response after Zeus taking contact from long is brilliant. And Cracks just looks unbeatable at the moment. Warms up into these maps.
And that's another situation where FUT have now found that second round pistol after winning 6 in a row towards the end of the previous. What comes around goes around, I suppose. It's more of the same. Cloud pays a hefty toll to get that 1 ult orb. The setup for GX here is a break away from the norm. They're playing a lot heavier towards short. They've brought Ara here as well, just with the paint shells to try and gain themselves a quick advantage through a combination of their utility. This is also something that they've just been very good at doing, and where you're seeing a really disciplined FUT trying to bait out as much as possible, and they already have done.
FUT though, they've set their sights on B. Only problem is they don't have the spike to back it. And most of the forces for Giant X committed towards Hookah, which may allow for proactivity.
That's Spike moving over as well. Grubby is not going to quite spot it, but it's a retake 5v5, FUT boxed into the site, needing a little extra ground and finding it in elbow.
Yeah, they're going to try and engage, but I mean, Flickless can't really live with it. Spike goes down, but Westside's classic out of nowhere gets a good couple of kills. He'll be finally downed, and now Grubby from long gets caught by CNED. Well, FUT will be able to convert.
Well, Westside got me a little bit too excited probably for a moment there. I was like, hang on a minute, what's going on? We still saw that Cloud was playing for Puka. They had a lot of control towards the attack spawn side, did GX, but we weren't able to find the most of it. Westside on rails there. How much better does it look with a rifle in his hands? GX back to a similar setup as they were on the first round, but you don't really expect them to run all the way down long now when FUT have their own utility to combat this.
First chance to see how GX on the defense with a full buy versus FUT with basically the same thing. It's going to be a decent trade out, but it's just going one better. So he's starting to show what he's made of, but Grubby goes into the smoke at the wrong time, and that's going to be 3 for the young duelist. What is going on right now from Giant X?
Zeus is ploughing FUT forwards. It was such a great haunt from Mr. Fallen that we saw. I'd love to get a replay of that. It's just really straightforward utility and the kind of thing that GX should sort of be expecting if they're playing the long setup. As I mentioned earlier, Mr. Fallen, we've not seen too much of his fade so far, and now he's going to need to fully clear the double stacked anchors on A.
Oh, and Westside's not even looking in the right spot as Yetish is the one to catch him. And now let's look at Flickless.
Yeah.
He's got such a long way to even get close to this. This is looking like he's throwing in the white towel.
With good reason. No credits on GX. No cash left in the coffers, so a little bit of time now, 45 seconds or less, to talk over what it is exactly they need to do, because it's a comeback to be mounted, double digits for FUT, twice as many rounds in the count. It also feels like the attack are just finding it far too easy to get past the Viper and the Deadlock, but I suppose that's because they're finding success elsewhere to start the round, and then GX don't really know how to react.
Yeah, and I think, like, again, like, something narratively everyone's been saying is since we've seen GX come back into the second split, Cloud's calling has been excellent.
Yeah.
And I think, again, to bring up a point that we made in previous maps, is looking at this series, I think this is the first time this split that I've had doubts about Cloud and some of the calls that he's made.
Oh, that I can agree upon. Again, some micro errors as you're seeing.
Of course.
Westside got a little caught, so did Grubby in the util. But it's the streak of rounds on the scoreboard right now which are most concerning for me. 9 unanswered from FUT. And it's just Flickless's rifle to stop it from being a 10th and 11th round.
Yeah, it's deja vu, it feels like, because, well, GX are trying to play aggressive on long, but it's like Skittles on a bowling lane. They've been completely knocked down, and FUT are looking to strike this one out.
Yeah, GX are looking like one of those bowling screen animations. It's all a little bit scuffed. No, not enjoying that one.
Nah, I'm not giving you.
Oh, not enjoying that one either. Oh, okay, Cloud as well. 2v3 and FUT. Not with too much map material to work with here.
And GX, not with a lot of health. 8 and 5 left on both players. So, yeah, we'll see where this one ends up, but you basically have your answer here. Is Giants look to gamble on B, but that spike is heading well into A.
Still a sound sensor up in showers, but anyone could have walked past that. It makes little difference. Cracks, safe in the knowledge that showers is secure, will get the spike down. While his hands are busy, the 2 other players on FUT were searching for an engagement. That was Yetu back sight. He doesn't spot it though.
Nice flash, but it's actually cracked his flash. There's no way he's escaped with one.
No.
Oh, what a shot! There's no way, right? Could you imagine?
That's now the ult online for Westside. He can clear a lot of space here, but it's only going to take a pinprick to kill him.
No way. It's just a 1 versus 1 against Zeus, and he's got a Phantom. I can't believe I put this into responsibility.
Oh, no. They knew that the damage was there, but that's just rude,
Yeah,
Zeus. You can't do that.
Hey, listen, doesn't matter how you get the round. It's just if you get the round.
I think the last time we saw a blast pack kill was, it was an Apex game. I think it was against Batu, maybe. And then before that, There was another like Koi one that we had on Split. I mean, this from West Side, I was really thinking that he might pull it off, and
Mate, yeah, but in my head, in my heart of hearts, I was like,
Yeah.
there's no way, but part of me couldn't doubt it. And here we go,
Locked
Zeus ready to take an engagement with CNED. Paranoia could be used, but that knife is going to be the information needed, perhaps, to start the engagement. As FUT scale in, Krax's flash was brilliant, and it's going to be the case as then the showstopper comes through, and Zeus gets another. FUT don't want to be playing on bind much longer. They're ready to execute right into the A side and execute any resistance in their way.
That GX3-0 feels like a
planted.
pipe dream now. It's Flickless and Westside walking away from things with weapons in hand, but little more. Mr. Fallen will lead the chase. That chase is cut short. But yeah, I mean, the unbreakable knife from Krax is great. This is the reason why he stayed in the side, ultimately, because if you wanted a KO player, it was going to be him. Modern day, how many KO players do you want? Probably not too many, but this is the style, the brand of Valorant that we're getting from FUT, and a big question answered for me. Is there a different vision with Jonta coming in, or is it, you know, what we're expecting? Is it a last dance of the old FUT? And I think we have our answer.
100%, and there was a lot of excitement about Giant X, and this was, I think, for me, the game where they needed to silence any critics that were left.
This
right?
was the banker.
Yeah,
This was the one that
Yeah.
shouldn't fail,
Yeah,
really.
exactly. And you then go into it and you're like, oh, Giant X can't slip up. Well, they can.
Yeah.
So now FUT are looking to bounce back in this series, and they have to do it here in this round. Well, I mean, they've got plenty of chances to do it, but best to do it here.
11 rounds in a row with a similar streak at the end of Haven. FUT are ready to take yet another map in dominant fashion. The year that BBL start to look like the best team from Turkey, FUT are forced to respond. And with the null command coming in just as soon as Cloud was trying to play for some reconnaissance of his own, he is in so much danger here. Needs Grabinho to do something, but the star from the start of the series has been shut up.
It feels as if Giant X haven't been able to live with FUT since they've got onto bind. It feels as if FUT have had everything that they've needed. His Ara is the only one left here, and he will be routed out. FUT bounced back after a disastrous week against Vitality, and that was the form team that they just managed to beat.